There's nothing on. You know, let's go to a craft store and see if we can find some discount dollar crafts and tie up some flies. That's a good challenge. Let's go. All right, let's get some Hobby Lobby supplies. From Hobby Lobby, and I think I've got some good products. I was kind of playing around and looking at what I had and what I could make, and you know what I haven't made in quite some time is a popper. So I figured we'd use a very small style bass hook. I got the letter E here, which is made from pretty high density foam, and then I also grabbed a feather boa, which got some tinsel in it, and then I grabbed string to garland. So I think with just these three materials, we can come out with a pretty decent popper. Let's jump into it. Just gonna put our bass hook on there. Now for the back of the popper, what I kind of envisioned is two feathers just kind of flaring off the back. So I'm going to search through this feather boa for, these are not high quality fly tying feathers, I can tell you that. I think that one's good. I think this one's all right. Yeah, so basically what I want in the back is almost just a nice like profile to hang off the back of the hook. Kind of like that. Just so it's got a good profile, and the feathers will sit on top of the water. So we're going to tie those on first using some 3/0 wax thread and kind of like an olive color. We're going to start back here where the feathers are going to go. And we can tie these on simultaneously. We're just going to give them a pinch. We're almost going to make like airplane wing shapes out of them. The main thing is I want these to stay fairly centered there on the hook. I'm going to give it a few wraps here, and then I'm going to make sure we're nice and centered. Then what I'm going to do to make sure we stay centered is I'm going to give this just a little dashy dash of some super glue. Make sure those feathers don't go anywhere, because I really want to make sure those stay on the profile they are currently on. All right, now from the same feather, we are going to take, you see this boa has got some nice little Maribou style, very soft under feather here. So we're gonna pick a couple feathers that's got some nice fluff to them. Trim off the excess of that feather just to keep the soft stuff, and that's all we want. I'm going to start here at the back with the thickest part of the feather. I'm going to take our thread wrap and get back here close to our other feathers. Tie that in. If you're not breaking thread, you're not wrapping tight enough. Alright, so we're going to take this soft little Maribou. You can use a hackle if you want. Just take this and we're going to just create some texture. And with this portion of the body, you don't have to be too carefully neat. We're just getting some nice texture in here. Now, I do want to, and if you want to take your hackle up a little further, if you've got some little strands or bits, and I'll tell you why I do this. Take a little bit up here, just a little bit. Just wrap that in. It's because we are going to put our foam up top, and that helps the glue just to kind of stay, keep everything in place, and keep our popping portion exactly where we want it. All right, so what do we do with this E? This is going to be the head of the popper. So we are going to cut off just a small amount of this. All right, so just a little bit off our E. It's got a little sticky bit on here. I don't know what to do with that. Maybe we'll just cut it off. I think these are letters that are supposed to be mounted to your wall. They've got little self-adhesive tabs on the back. Cut that off. Doesn't need to be too pretty. And I think I want it's got kind of a sparkly, glittery outside. So I think I'll keep that facing towards the front as the face. I think I am going to square this up just a little bit. There we go. So not totally square, but a nice rectangle. And what we're going to do here is we're going to fit this onto the hook as the head of our popper. But before we do that, we are going to hit it. Ah, you know what? I almost forgot. Let's get a little sparkle. So this is on a wire, but I don't really want to use the wire because I don't want to cover up some of the black or all of the black. So I think just behind. There we go. I'm going to pull this back. All right. Now you can go ahead and create a little whip finish knot. Finish this off because the glue is pretty much going to hold the popper head in place. We don't need to tie that off. Now I'm going to clean up some of this because I don't want ton of this flashing hanging down. That's going to create short strikes. So I just want to clean this up a little bit. I want some of the black to come through. There we go. Shorten them up just a touch. Leave a little flash hanging back there. All right, now if you've got a bodkin or something very small, what I am going to do is just kind of give myself a pilot hole. So I'm going to take the bodkin and just poke that through, give it a little wiggle back and forth. And then before we stick this on, we are going to add just a touch of super glue to make sure this holds, stays in place. A little dab will do. Now, just fit that on. Now I want to go back far enough that I don't have to worry about the eye being covered. And so, just so the super glue sets, I'm going to give this a pinch and make sure that this is fully set up before we let go. I'm going to pinch it horizontally and vertically. Make sure all that super glue gets set in there. There we go. Now we've got enough of that eye exposed. We can tie on and it won't be an issue. Now, we have got a nice profile popper. That head is going to sit up. Now, the thing I want to avoid on this popper is you can see the hook exposure is in line with the bottom of the popper head here. So what I want to do is I want to trim, just going to trim back a little bit of that. That'll give the head a little shape. Wow, that went shooting across the room. So I'm going to give that, and I think I'm going to cut a little off the bottom. Make a little more over here. That just shapes up the head a bit. And that leaves the hook a little bit more exposed so we can make sure we get that fish caught. Now, lastly, I don't like the color of the side of the foam. I do like the edge of the little glittery part. So to go with the black theme, we're going to take our Sharpie and we are just going to color this in on the side. All right, now if you want to get extra fancy and you want to, I think we're going to get the back of this too, and we want to borrow from maybe one of our other discount store supplies, is we can take our googly eyes that we got. I think we got those at one of the dollar stores. We might have got those at Hobby Lobby. I got all kinds of discount stuff, which is fun to just think about all the different things you can make. All right. So that's our popper. It is, it's not a beauty, but this is absolutely, with that profile and it being a topwater, this is going to get struck. This is going to get bit. And all we used is discount store materials. Get creative, find your creative bug, go out there and tie some flies. And you know what? I think to end this little video, we are going to spice it up. And even though the fish won't see it, I just think it makes it look cool. We are going, yeah, let's put some eyeballs on him. A little bit of super glue. We'll stick him right in there, right up on top. There we go. Now look at that. Now he's got some fun Google eyes. I think that makes the bait, and it came from a discount store as well. It might have been the other one, but hey, we are working with fun materials, guys. You can get into any kind of stuff you want. And even though Hobby Lobby was a little bit more expensive, you can go to any of these little dollar stores and they've got the same kind of little knick-knack paddywhacks that you want to tie with. So on that note, get out there, be creative, and I will see you guys on the next tie-up. Where are we going to go next? Stay tuned. See you guys later.